Bonefish.
All right. So, Justin, picture, if you will, folk music in your head. Picture a folk song, perhaps. You got something?
Picturing a very polite, collegial, dusty American folk song.
Now, imagine if it was played by freaks.
Ooh.
Pretty twisted, huh? Tongue songs, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Tongue songs.
CD liner notes say that Sung Tongs are tongs about returning to an old house, doing nothing with friends, or making sounds with bones. That's right, guys. 20 years ago, this week, the band Animal Collective dropped Sung Tongs. And today, we're going to go deep.
Real deep.
So please join us here on Bonefish Pod as we delve into the tongs. It's me, Christian.
I'm Justin.
Where to begin?
We can begin at the center real quick. I'm just looking up the Billboard Hot 100 for the first week of May 2004, and the number one song was "Burn" by Usher.
Wow.
I don't remember that song. Do you? I probably, maybe if I heard it.
Let it burn. That's the only thing I can remember.
Number two was I Don't Want to Know, Mario Winans featuring Enya and P. Diddy. Ooh, wow.
What the hell? Yikes.
I do remember this song. I used to bump this song. It's got that, is it Boudica Enya sample from her song? I think Grimes also. No, sorry, not Grimes has not sampled it. She loves that song. Fuji sampled it for Ready or Not. Anyway, that was song number two.
Hard to imagine Enya in mixed company with P. Diddy, knowing what we know now.
Yeah.
So
scary, man.
Glad to hear it was just a sample.
We also have Hoobastank's The Reason was number 5 that week.
Hey.
Remember that music video? Remember that song?
Oh, my goodness.
Maroon 5, This Love.
Wow.
Kanye West began his solo career. All Falls Down was number 9.
Damn. Different time.
And then we have these two guys with acoustic guitars, a drum, and their vocals.
Yeah.
Coming out of nowhere with, holy shit. I mean, this was like a huge, like, kind of level up or almost rebranding for Animal Collective.
Totally.
When this came out.
Yeah. I think one reason for that is they had been pretty focused on not only live music and recording, but also just like live performance as a way to make their albums, like campfire songs. I know a lot of Arc was sort of performed live, and the material for Sung Tongs was obviously performed live a lot, but instead of just sort of taking, a more relaxed approach to recording it, instead of taking like the raw path, they thought, what if we get a little creative? What if we like distill some of this energy and really spend some time crafting this into something that really works as a standalone recorded piece of music and not just like a document of their live music, which I feel like until this point was sort of their MO.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is like definitely their first like produced album.
First one on Fat Cat, right?
I think so. That's what this came out on, Fat Cat. Yeah, it sounds right. Fat Cat, May 3rd, 2004. But yeah, I mean, the overdubbing, the vocals coming in and out, the wild strumming, very feral energy. It's just a massive level up. And I think really their first kind of high profile release. I think if you ask most people in the indie rock world, like this is the one that they first heard or that really got them going about this group.
Yeah. Before we get into the actual record, I feel like we should talk a little bit about like how we got here, how this band got here.
Sure.
It's just Avey and Panda.
Duo album. Gotta love it. Love duo albums.
Do we know why that is? I mean, I know they'd been performing just together. I know that after Arc and the Arc tour, which was pretty, I think, difficult for them.
Yeah, I think they were burnt out after Here Comes Arc. After Arc, I think they were burnt out. I think Brian went to school, or he was like working on like the Kerry campaign or something, or so that he was out, and it just came down to Dave and Noah. I want to say, like, was Deacon initially in the mix? I'm not sure, and maybe something didn't pan out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I'm recalling that right. But yeah, I mean, it's also such a reaction to the noisy kind of city environment of Arc. I'm sure they were ready to finally like evolve into the next phase, because Arc was kind of the end of their noisy, real abstract era, their kind of initial era. So, and into this like whatever you want to call it. I mean, they got lumped into the freak folk scene.
Yeah.
Which we can also mention.
One thing about this band is that we know they tour songs, sort of flesh them out that way on the road / live, and then record them. And so there's always sort of a natural invitation of comparison there. Like, how does the live compare to the studio album? But Sung Tongs really feels like there's like a sort of special distinction between the live and the studio record, partly for reasons we just mentioned. But yeah, I think probably after Arc 2, after like, touring with all this gear and having everything be very electronic based and focused, yeah, they were clearly excited about going the other way and seeing what we can do, showing up to these gigs with just 2 guitars and our voices and our insane creativity and charisma. A lot of legendary footage.
Oh yeah,
came out of this time. A lot of legendary live sets as well.
Oh man.
And a large amount of like, there's also just a lot of songs from their live era, from this live era, that don't really appear on, or don't at all appear on the studio recordings.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Should we talk a little bit about like live first, or like some of the live versions, or some of this era of live? I know at some point they were like touring Europe. I guess they would have been touring like behind Arc, but
I think when did they start playing
mode?
I think like early 2003 they started playing Sung Tongs. They were touring.
Sounds right.
I think their first European tour was Sung Tongs.
And they were opening for like Fortet, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What a small world. That's how they ended up meeting Vashti Bunyan.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. I pulled up Collected Animals. Well, the first recorded set that Collected Animals has is May 10th, 2003 in the UK. I think there's footage of this. It's the Gardner Arts Center, Brighton, UK. It's like semi-professionally shot. It's on YouTube. Have you seen this?
I've seen a couple of the UK Sung Tongs era. I'm not sure if I've seen this one, but
so this is like, I don't know if this was the first show for Sung Tongs, but so a year in advance, a year out at least, they were playing this set, and yeah, the Sung Tongs live songs felt way more loose and like kind of more energy and a little more just wilder,
Yeah, really in the moment, really unshackled by like tempo, or it's all very just felt and very led. It's also kind of like funny, some of the like the live versions, which
Yeah.
I think is something that's often understood about this band is like they're being in on some of the humor. Like I remember,
Mm-hmm.
so there's a great YouTube, I mean, video. It's not a video, but it's like a YouTube compilation of early Sung Tongs versions, live versions that you sent me.
Yeah.
And there's like a version of Sweet Road where, coming out of the sort of first crazy chorus where they're like screaming and like yelping, going nuts, then they go super quiet to like start the next one, and there's like laughter in the audience.
No, that's amazing. I wanted to talk about that humor in their music. I mean, I've laughed at their shows. Maybe not at stuff that's like overtly funny, maybe like more so laughing because like my mind's blown. But with Sung Tongs, yeah, I mean, this was like a more lightly casted album, kind of, not a dark palette like their other stuff. It's, got this like childlike wonder about them that became like their trademark. And there's just funny moments like that one YouTube video where it's like, I think it's Covered in Frogs in a Winter's Love from like probably 2003, where it looks like they're just playing in like some, I don't know, bookstore or something, or who knows. But
yeah, the camera's shot like through people's like legs and stuff. It's just very.
I mean, that is one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time, because it's like, imagine just walking in there and expecting these two dudes to like, play some folk songs with their acoustic guitars.
Right. You see two skinny white dudes with the guitars. You're like, okay, I know what's going to happen here.
And then it's just, they just come out of nowhere and just lose their minds, just totally let go. That video is just amazing. It's just, it's different from the other ones. I don't know why. Maybe because it's like, it just feels like discovering this band. Like you just walked in unprompted, having no context for their music. And there's like a sense of discovery seeing, Dave and Noah. It's basically the transition of those songs, but I mean, they really just go for it. Like Panda Bear's screeching at like the highest register for like 3 minutes, and Dave is just like going nuts. He's just like banging his guitar. He's not even playing it. And yeah, there's like people like laughing. I mean, like it's just like, you don't even know how to perceive it. And then it goes into Winter's Love, and it's like, oh, okay, wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah. It's like pure deconstruction. It's like taking that premise of like man and guitar and like where can we push this? I think detractors or people who didn't like this era or don't like this band at all, they might see something like that video and think, oh, anyone can like grab a guitar and freak out and strum it as fast as they can. But
you do it, man. You got to have the balls to do that. First, you got to have the balls to do it. And two,
that's one thing. And then,
two, they're not doing nothing, actually.
Right.
There is coordination.
It's actually very considered and intentional and very rehearsed. Like it's like that transition into Winter's Love is amazing. And It's that's another thing. I mean, Winter's Love, we can save it for maybe when we go song by song, but just it's crazy, like, you know, knowing that record first, hearing all the crazy like Yelp singing in the beginning of that and being like, oh, this sounds like almost just like kind of tossed off, and like, but then you see these early live videos and they're like, oh wow, they're literally singing the exact same lines in Yelps, and it's all very considered.
Yeah.
And yeah, just having the balls, I mean, like, that's definitely something that is not talked about enough, like with this band, like especially in like music community and places like New York, and especially at this time, you know, like the Strokes, whatnot, like, you know, getting on stage and doing like a musical performance, there's like all this presupposed, like packaged, you know, like coolness that is assumed to go along with that. And when you encounter something like these performances that violate that so strongly, it pushes you out. It forces you to reconsider that expectation.
Either you think humanity has failed to communicate and exist and function in society by witnessing their music performed like that, or you understand that this is just like a visceral, elemental feeling that we all have that is there waiting to just be like, you know, unleashed. You know, it's just a big release that like, you know, sometimes sometimes you gotta lose your mind, you know?
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's the kind of thing that's like it's like encountering something like that. It's like, it's sort of asking the question, like, well, what are we all doing? What are we all here to do? Are we all here to like stand around and look as like slick and cool as possible? Or are we here to like really encounter something that will like change our perspective? And like, and not to say like, you know, that's conscious on their part. I'm not saying they're like setting out to like change the way people think about folk music, but like, you know, asking those questions.
Should we like weave in the live versions as we go track by track?
Sure.
Like talk about both.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I did have, I want to read this Rolling Stone quote really quick. I feel like it sort of has to do with what we're talking about. This is from the review of Sung Tongs from Rolling Stone, which I think is like 3 stars, 2.5. It's funny, like a lot of these reviews that have not great scores for this album, you read the reviews and it's actually like, oh, whoever wrote this review really loved this record, but like whoever was in charge of giving it the score,
the editors
like, what is this kooky bullshit? No. Like, it's not. There's no way we're giving this 4. But it says, quote, in the realm of semi-popular rock, there are indie rockers who prize imperfection and irreverence, and there are jam bands who are steeped in tradition and demand high technical standards. And never the twain shall meet. Until now, at least, Brooklyn's Animal Collective make their songs cackle with soulful eccentricity while dazzling you with deceptive chops and improvised manipulations. Think Neutral Milk Hotel as played by Fish. Which I thought that was a pretty interesting distinction. Like, I don't really think I had that binary in my mind. Like, on the one side, there's like indie rockers who are like imperfect, and the other side there are jam bands who are like all shredders. Maybe because I like came up liking bands that mixed those things, which Animal Collective totally does.
That's interesting.
Like, oh, well, like jam bands are irreverent and imperfect. Like that's kind of what jamming is. I don't know.
It's interesting that they already got the jam band tag that early, when I feel like that didn't really become apparent until like later. I don't know. That's you know. I mean, they jam and they improvise a little bit, but even they'll tell you that was a little overblown. Like we were saying, a lot of this stuff is practiced and coordinated. The you know, the singing, the incantations, the chanting, you know, that takes a lot of practice, you know. But to the ear, it sounds, you know, like chaos, but eventually you pick out kind of patterns in the chaos and order in the chaos. And that's what I think what makes you keep coming back to keep listening, at least for me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's flirting with that line between like structure and looseness, and like having something both be planned and rehearsed, but also very like in the moment and present. Want to start going track by track, or?
Sure.
Cool. Leaf House.
Are you kidding me?
What an opener.
They literally put a drop in an acoustic guitar song. And it's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like the first 10 seconds of this song is all you need to know that this band's upped their game. They're operating on a new level here. Yeah, I love the little intro sting, short little laser sound is something that exists on lots of Animal Collective records, like a sort of just quick little hit at the beginning to like bring you into the universe. I feel like this is probably the most iconic of those.
Yeah.
And freaking bongos, baby.
Fucking love bongos. Love bongos. The bongo like repetition that kind of goes through it, the fill, that comes in every 5 seconds or so. The panning of the vocals.
Which
it just gets you so revved up. Like it gets you so pumped up.
It's very like there's like a strong sense of place too. I think the panning and like the mixing and all that really helps create that. But I mean, the song is a place. The song title, I should say, is a place. Leaf House. But it's just like, I don't know. I kind of picture being in like an opium den of some kind, or like there's like smoke and like the bongos are all very like picture like there's like cushions around, fainting pillows and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I think this song is a great example of what we're talking about, the difference between the live versions and the studio versions of these tracks. I mean, much
So
kind of
much
looser live, and
there's no beat in the live one.
Right. Yeah, it's much more like just led by the like self-led, I suppose, like by the playing and the acoustic. But yeah, this one's much more grounded. There's that beat.
Really cool beat.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's simple. It's real. I don't know what time signature that is, or
I think it's pretty straight up,
straightforward.
And down. Yeah. The way each line kind of starts and then fragments, and they pull away from each other with their vocals before coming back in together for the next one. Really, really cool. And yeah, this studio version is such like a distilled kind of like execution of like the live idea. This doesn't seem like a song they played live a ton in this era. I mean, I've heard some versions, but
it became like the first like iconic Panda Bear kind of led song, right? This is a Panda song, I think. Yeah, this is a Noah song.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I think he sings the main lines. Yeah,
because this house is sad because he's not home. Is that the line? Or here? I think it's like a reference. Not.
Oh, I thought it was like because he's not tidy. Tidy. I thought they were singing tidy there.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because he's not. I don't know. I mean, I will say up front, the lyrics are sort of not my main focus on this record. Really cool ones.
No.
But a little more about the tongue.
Yeah. This breakdown though, man.
Yeah, man.
So good.
Crazy that also this was still like they're all doing this on tape, and like it's also a testament to like limitations and like what you can do with panning, overdubbing, even just like mic use. Like a lot of the vocals on this, there's a lot of like off mic singing, maybe they were just on the other side of the room, and there's a lot of like there's times where they're close to the mic and times where they're far away, and
Rusty talked about that when they were recording at Rusty Santos.
Yeah.
Who helped record and mix this?
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, so he went to Colorado with them where they recorded it.
Lamar, Colorado?
I think so, yeah. He said they were using like a 4-track, I think the same 4-track they used for Spirit, that Avey used for Spirit, and then were like dumping it onto his computer, and he was like mixing it in Cubase or something like that. So yeah, really rudimentary, but
it sounds
really creative.
Yeah, really creative, really meticulous. It sounds beautiful. Yeah, the dissolving kind of vocals in the middle, and then the beat kicks back in.
Yeah,
this still gets me amped every time I hear it.
Yeah, man, the layering vocals and like the way it fades in and fades out. Huge song. Cool too that it made live appearance for like Merriweather era.
I love that version.
Yeah,
too.
They played it when I saw him first, which I think helped lead me to Sung Tongs after Merriweather, sort of. But
and people go nuts for this one, like
this is a track you like give someone to get someone into this band. It's like a really good mix of like it's got the freakiness, but it's still really like structured and pleasing, and like you said, has like a drop. So there's like there's something for everyone. Kitties.
Yeah. Meow.
You a cat person?
No, I appreciate cats, but I'm not a cat person.
Same.
Kitties.
I am a rabbit person, though.
Love rabbits, man. Rabbits, now we're talking.
We need to, oh no, we in the store right here. Newspaper stand. TJ coming around.
The newspaper stand. Yeah, I know Dave like walked around the city and like recorded stuff all the time. And this sounds
I think
New York City field recordings from like bodegas and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He said it was like in a deli. Yeah, this song's a shot of pure joy to the brain.
Hilarious song. Amazing
Hilarious song.
I think they cracked up after they first played this back after they recorded it.
Right. I remember talking to Rusty about that. Like the first time they played it back after recording it, they were just cracking up to each other. Like, we didn't know we could make music like this. But boy, can they. Another crazy tidbit from our Rusty interview is he mentioned that they used the auto harp on this song.
Oh, yeah.
For those for those big strums, which was pretty mind blowing to me. I mean, I always just pictured them just with their acoustics, but it really makes sense. I mean, auto harps are those kind of big boards with like 20 strings on them. You press these like plastic buttons and it, mutes the strings you don't need, and you just strum it, but make these big, thick kind of sweeping sounds. So it makes sense that they recorded some of those for.
That's so cool
for this song. Another thing Rusty said in that interview is that one like reference point they had for this album is like acoustic My Bloody Valentine, sort of like wall of sound, but just with acoustics. And yeah, I feel like this song and those meaty strums definitely capture that vibe.
I love the line. You've been hating on my new perspective.
Yes.
It's kind of just like, get off my back, bro. I'm living out loud here. I'm doing what I want to do.
It's such a beautiful turn of phrase too. Been hating on my new perspective. Like, it's one of the things I love about this band is like, I don't know how to put it without it sounding like pejorative, but just like, it's like surfer philosophy sort of.
Yeah. It's such a dude line. Like,
yeah.
Like the Big Lebowski would say something like that or something, or
Yeah, it's like high and low meeting, like these heady concepts, but with just like but with very like approachable, like a casual jargon, I suppose. Yeah, I wrote down that too. Been hating on my new perspective.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Spanish Babies, All the Echoes. Another good one. I mean, that's like in terms of like moments, that's one of my favorite moments on the record is that brief post chorus, like la 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 la, and then into Spanish babies, all the echoes. So good, man. I love that.
Yeah.
There's like the vibra slap or whatever I think it's called.
Oh, nice.
Old little clickety instrument that's featured a lot on this track.
It's just immediate, you know, it's very obvious that as you listen to this album for the first time and knowing what the band was coming from, like, this is like something so new and, you know, for them and for just music at the time, you know, like introducing this like just more kind of looser, colorful vibe.
Yeah.
I have a theory that I would like to present to you.
Okay.
I've only got circumstantial evidence here, but another popular song around this time in pop culture was Hey Ya.
Okay. Of course. Pop standard.
When I listen to Who Can Win a Rabbit, for some reason my brain would start thinking about Hey Ya just because they both came out around the same time. But Hey Ya came out first, right? I think Hey Ya came out on August 25th, 2003. We know that Who Could Win a Rabbit was recorded sometime between September 7th and September 28th.
2003,
just a few weeks after it debuted, and it was everywhere on the radio. My theory is that they heard Hey Ya, fucking loved it, and immediately wrote Who Could Win a Rabbit. I'm not saying it was a conscious decision. Actually, I think it'd probably be something subconscious. But Noah did say that around this time, they listened to a lot of Hot 97.
Interesting.
Which is the big hip-hop radio station in New York. Again, this is just, I just feel like these songs are kind of like cousins, distant cousins. You know, that's the cool thing about music is two artists coming to the same thing separately. I don't know. Am I insane? I mean, they were already in this vibe before Hey Ya came out, you know, this kind of fun, carefree vibe. But
I mean, in the way that Hey Ya is sort of like an eternal pop standard that you'll hear at weddings till the end of time, I feel like you can make an argument that Who Could Win a Rabbit is like a freak folk standard. It's like, I mean, it's not covered much, you know. I don't think many other people could pull it off, but I think if you wanted people to have a sense of like freak folk during this time, that's definitely a go-to track. Is there any evidence of them playing it live before Hey Ya came out?
They actually, from what I saw, and this is just from recorded live sets on Collected Animals, they started playing it live actually in like the fall of 2003. So after Hey Ya came out. I mean, they're both, like freaky, kind of fun, sing along with songs with, you know, just saying.
I like it.
I was just going to say it'd be cool if Andre covered Who Could Win a Rabbit and then Anko covered Hey Ya.
I wonder what that would be like.
And then it just makes me think of like, well, you know, I was a senior in high school when Sung Tongs came out, but I didn't know about it. I was, you know, on my own different musical journey. And it came out, you know, as I was graduating high school. And I just wonder what it would have been like if I had Sung Tongs to kind of soundtrack that summer. That would have been cool. Who knows? Maybe I wouldn't have been ready for it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, we have the classic outro of like gurgling, sort of gastric, crunchy.
It's
sizzling bacon grease.
It almost sounds like a parody of "This Is Your Brain on Drugs" commercial by the Office of National Drug Policy. Remember those?
Oh yeah,
This Is Your Brain on Drugs.
I don't know how they never knew that. That just makes it look like more appealing. Like,
right?
Just like,
yeah.
Like, I like my eggs fried, bro. It's all about that chemical reaction. Also, quick shout for the Merriweather era Who Could Win a Rabbit version, which was our theme song for a while.
So fire.
Double
so
speed.
Good.
Yeah. Want to talk about the video at all a little bit? I mean, this was like their first music video, right? When we talked to Dustin Wong, he had like some anecdote about like,
Oh yeah.
because he was in Baltimore at the time, he like someone had just been at the music video and like came to the bar where he was at, and he was like, "There's these guys, Animal Collective, like they're gonna be huge." Like,
Yeah.
but yeah,
This video is great.
fucked up fairy tale.
Geologist is in it.
Is he the turtle or is he the hare?
No,
Or
I
who's-
think the turtle's Noah and
okay,
the hare's Dave, I think. And then there's like a geologist like is in it briefly, I think.
yeah, crazy song. It's the kind of song that seems like it's like the premise it was based on is like, all right, how fast can we like change chords just like back and forth really quick and then make a song over that? Like it's so like manic, and it's like A and D. It's like the root chord and like the dominant, just like back and forth. It's like as
Uh-huh.
sort of as basic as composition can be, but it doesn't matter if your composition's basic if you're creative as hell, you can
Yeah. Exactly.
make it sing. What's up, guys? Christian here. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. If you want more of this kind of thing, you can find plenty over on our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/bonefishpod. We've got some full uncut episodes up there, including some of our other deep dives on albums like Person Pitch, Merriweather Post Pavilion, Strawberry Jam, and some other goodies. So check it out. Okay, back to the show. And then we come down from the manic highs of Who Could Win a Rabbit into softest voice.
Mm-hmm.
I love those. It's like, I picture like a cow or like a horse, which we know
Yeah.
Dave loves.
It's
Loves
very
bovine.
It's very Beach Boys Smile era,
Hmm.
which is also, I mean, big touchdown. Have you ever listened to like the Smile Beach Boys that was actually released, not the one that was released in like 67? That's like, it's like parts of songs that were Smile, and then the other half are just these incredibly stoned out acoustic guitar songs of the Beach Boys that it reminds me of like Sung Tongs, actually.
Oh, nice. No, I don't think I have. I should listen.
It's good, but also like, yeah, bongos and acoustic guitar.
Hell yeah.
And insanely cooked Beach Boys vocals.
Is that where like Vegetables comes from?
Vegetables is on there,
Yeah.
yeah.
My vegetables. Love that one.
Yeah, that's on there. Like kind of like a more minimal version. Anyway, yeah, that humming is very, very Beach Boys.
Beautiful, delicate acoustic forests.
Yeah.
Yeah, this song is like it's kind of like campfire songs perfected, sort of, or like
hmm
maybe not perfected, but like distilled. Yeah.
Yeah, into focus a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like how they're singing in like a higher register the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
It's like very off the grid, as it were, kind of like softly accelerating and then like breaking sort of the tempo of this song. Like it's kind of like one of the beautiful things about music like this, that where there's no like drums or anything, like the time can kind of just be determined by like who's ever playing the instrument. Like it lilts at some moments, it like lulls at other moments.
Yeah.
Really quite nice. Shall we move on to Winter's Love?
A distant cry in the woods for a little peace on earth. Am I right?
Yeah. This kind of feels like a centerpiece of the album, and even more than that, like this era. Like this seems to be a track that got a lot of play live, but also as like as an album highlight. I already talked a little bit about like the crazy chant singing that sounds so sort of off the cuff, but is actually very, very much not so.
I love the ambient intro.
Yeah, what do you make of that little sort of false start, kind of false beginning?
I love it, man. I love I think it's Dave kind of doing the humming, you know. It just sounds like kind of like a symphony, like, and then it goes away, and then you have like the strumming, and like then the song begins.
Yeah, what a moment!
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a very charming, beautiful song.
Yeah, that kind of like chanting that comes in after the little intro portion, that like minute-long section, I feel like is just like so magical, kind of miraculous. Like, how do you come up with those parts to sing on top of that and with each other? Crazy.
Yeah, and then when they go into like the song, the kind of the humda, it's just so amazing.
Yeah. I wonder if they did the false beginning part, or like the little, whatever you want to call it, intro strums. I wonder if like, because you know how live they would do like Covered in Frogs into Winter's Love, or like it would be sort of, it was like a transitional jam. I wonder if they felt like maybe they were so used to that, they felt like they needed something before the like kind of main strumming starts. I don't know. I wonder.
Yeah, maybe to get some momentum, but it like stops in the recorded version.
Right. That's true. It's not like a continuous jam.
Yeah, because they've never played that intro in the recorded version live, right?
Yeah. Because that intro part like kind of comes back later. It's like a part that's later in the song that they like put up front. But yeah, curious as to why Covered in Frogs wasn't recorded. I would love to hear studio version.
I tried to ask Rusty, because I regret not asking him. So like I DM'd him. I don't know if you saw that, but I was like, was like Covered in Frogs, or a lot of these other songs like Tuvin, they played a lot. Always You, Don't Believe the Pilot, Sleeping Factory, which is another sweet song, Happy Singing Band. I wasn't really clear on like if they actually recorded them or not. So they might have recorded them and not released them. I don't know.
Damn.
It's funny the boys are doing a 15th anniversary for Merryweather, but not a 20th anniversary for Sung Tongs. I know. We don't know.
Man, how amazing would it be if some of these non-album era tracks would pop up? That would be incredible.
I mean, we could talk about them more if you want now, or we can.
Sure. Yeah, we already brought it up. Let's dive in.
I didn't even know that they played. I thought Tuvin was a new song when I saw them do the sort of anniversary shows for Sung Tongs, and they always open up with Tuvin, which is like a nod to Tuvin throat singing. And
okay,
that sounds wild, the way they coordinate that song. But they played this a lot back in like 2003 when they first were touring these songs.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, there's some like Happy Singing Band, like for as beautiful and like sort of
maybe that was like
is
too
as a
simple.
Song. Yeah, it's like, okay, you can maybe say like this isn't like a fully fleshed out thing. It's maybe more of an idea. But it's hard to see that stopping them, like being like, oh, it's not like totally complete. Like it's hard to see them being like, oh, well then therefore like we shouldn't record it. But yeah, man, like something like Covered in Frogs, I could, in my mind, it just sounds so cool. Like because the way they're sort of singing like in the round almost.
They're just kind of trailing each other, and that's a great song. Easily could have been on this album. It would fit in definitely. I always liked Always You.
Really pretty one, yeah.
Always do. Always do. Always do. Always do.
Believe the pilot too is really cool. I mean, I can see how that would be. That's an exciting song live.
Take a look and you'll be fine. Take a look and you'll be fine.
And the way it like accelerates and freaks out.
And they're just making like flying noises. Like...
Yeah. Yeah. Wonder if that has to do with like a fear of flying. If that's like part of what that song comes from. Who knows? Yeah, man. I guess, I was thinking about the pitch. I mean, one of the biggest goof ups of my life is not seeing the Sung Tongs reunion tour when they did it. But thank goodness there's that Pitchfork video, the live video of the Sung Tongs performance, which is just such a gift.
It was really good.
Which does have Covered in Frogs.
Yeah, they played Covered in Frogs. They played Tuvin, and they played some of the Vashti Bunyan songs, I think.
Yeah, Prospect Hummer. Yeah, they played Prospect Hummer. Closed the set with that. Yeah, which too is so cool because like that show and then that reunion tour they did is like basically the first time that fans of Sung Tongs the record could hear live if they have the chance, because the people that were hearing the Sung Tongs songs live, Sung Tongs wasn't out, and then the next time they were like playing Feel stuff. So it's like
that's true. Yeah, they were
really the first time that they
were like way more under the radar when they were playing these songs initially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Vashti Bunyan songs, the collaborative EP they did with her, those were initially from this era. Prospect Hummer EP.
Yeah, I mean, I think they said like It's You and Prospect Hummer were left over from the Sung Tong sessions that they had Vashti like re-record vocals over, which implies the existence of non-Vashti versions of those tracks, which all respect to her, but it would be really cool to hear. I mean, we have Prospect Hummer live, which is just them singing, but it would be cool to hear studio versions with just those two guys.
Yeah. Whew. Where are we?
Kids on Holiday.
Holiday.
One chord banger.
That's true. It is a one chord, huh? One chord banger.
Krautrock style. Love Noah's backing vocals. Some of them sound like kind of like Native American like calls or like weird like laughter at times. Like
yeah.
Like the
yeah, it sounds insane. The little earworms of vocals popping in and out. It sounds really cool. The laughter,
just psycho clowns.
It's like psycho clown laughter,
holding steak knives.
But the psycho clowns just want to hug you.
Yeah,
that's all they want to do.
Yeah. The lyrics are a little more like upfront on this song. Child travel, sort of a theme, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely traveling. I think he had him and Noah in mind, kind of traveling alone for this.
Here we come, Mr. Airplane. Yeah, it seems like sort of observational, and memories of traveling when you're a kid are definitely like potent, like new memories, new stimuli. So it makes sense that they would mine that for some music. The holiday part where Noah's like screaming that like off mic really makes it, and live when they both are like screaming it rocks. So cool.
Yeah, it's like you have the steady beat and just they're kind of scribbling over that with guitars.
Yeah. A little bit like, it reminded me of Person Pitch a little bit, like this song, just like very, very limited musical data, but despite that, all these different melodies, all these different ways of adding to that and expounding on it. That's really pretty inspiring, and yeah, something they're not scared to do at all. It's like take very limited musical ideas and just expanding on them with their voices. Visiting Friends. They said this one was inspired by the minimal ambient techno of Wolfgang Voigt, who
Ooh,
did a bunch of records under the name Gas.
that's a good call. I never made that connection, but it totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It does sound like a Gas early 2000s track,
Totally.
but like without kind of a beat. Usually he's got like a beat
Yeah, like
buried in there.
like an acoustic version of that. And Gas himself, that project was inspired by him taking LSD in the woods of Germany as a kid. So certainly checks out in terms of this song. Feels like
Checks out.
tripping balls in the woods. Sort of a smeared, like blurry trek through a kind of hallucinatory landscape. Apparently there are lyrics to this song.
Yeah,
I've
I feel
never
like
really
there's, like,
picked up on them, but if you look it up on Genius, there's like a bunch.
I think there's lyrics that reference like getting stoned with your friends.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, that would make
think.
sense.
Could be wrong, but I think so. Yeah, this is a long one.
Yeah, just kind of invites you to get lost in it. Resisting structure, taking its own time. And yeah, it's a lovely little adventure. This also brings to mind the whole acoustic My Bloody Valentine thing, like kind of just layers of sounds combining to create something, greater than like the individual parts.
Yeah.
And then college.
Nice little short follow-up.
Whoops, we missed Sweet Road. Did we?
Yeah, we missed
Yeah.
Sweet Road.
Whoopsie. It's between kids on a holiday and visiting friends, which makes sense because those are both a little longer, and that's sort of Sweet Road is just a nice little mid-album morsel.
Nice little
The
ditty.
song. Ever since you told me about that Crayola commercial, I can't help but picture it when I hear it. It's like so perfect for that. I'm so astounded how that came to be.
I wonder how much longer after the song came out or the album came out that they got the Crayola offer.
Right.
Like, it must have not been like immediate. I don't know. Or maybe it was. I don't know.
Hard to say.
But
I hope they got a decent little check for that. I love Sweet Road though.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of needed at this point in the album, sequential wise, I guess. It's cool how Sweet Road, like, there's the kind of, it's like really catchy, but there's like the time signatures are like a little off. There's like extra beats in like the verses, and then when they come to like the chorus, it's just like straight, kind of straight up and down, and really gets you nodding your head. It's like We Tigers is like that a little bit too, like weird off rhythm, and then like when it clicks in, you're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, you're right. I love that.
But back to college, I remember reading them something them saying like, oh yeah, it's sort of like a anti Beach Boys, like be true to your school song.
Okay, totally makes sense.
Funny,
just a subversive version of that.
Yeah, just them doing harmonies on top of more sizzling bacon grease.
Yeah, I love that.
It's like a pretty funny, like, it's so different than anything they've done. Like having like a micro song like that, having like one like clear line that is like basically like a directive, or not a directive, but like a just like piece of advice. Like I wonder if, you could tell that there's a wink that goes along with this song. It's great in between visiting friends and We Tigers, like resets you after this kind of meandering adventure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of people have taken a lot from this track. I remember someone messaged us earlier on saying like, yeah, this song inspired me to drop out of college. Like,
hell yeah.
So yeah, but you don't have to. It's true. You don't have to.
Exactly. Don't gotta go to college.
It's not getting any cheaper.
You actually don't have to do anything.
It's true.
You have a right to be a fuck up.
Indeed.
That's the American way, baby. Anyway, yeah,
right.
great sequencing.
Mm-hmm.
So far.
Ready to go tribal mode?
Oh yeah,
with We Tigers. The face paint's on.
1, 2, 3.
The torches are lit.
Hey kids, let's pick up sticks.
Yeah. I love this song.
Yeah, this is another all-timer. Man, so many. This is like on some Lord of the Flies shit. That's what I picture
Hell yeah.
when I hear this.
Yeah, they captured that vibe in a bottle for sure. I hadn't really heard live versions of this until you sent that YouTube compilation. But I remember this song in particular being really awesome. They were doing the whole like like looping that, and like their use of some of the electronics and stuff live with these songs are really, really rad. But
yeah,
sort of a scary tribal dance, and then like the chorus is like the tribal party, sort of like bacchanalia, like suddenly kind of like gets celebratory.
Yeah,
I'm a noisy singer singing out at dinner. It's just a nice.
Yeah, there is like a slight turn towards the light when the chorus or whatever hits, which is kind of deceptive, because you think it's gonna maybe get darker or something, but it's kind of like a nice release. A lot of things going on in the background for this song, vocally and texturally.
Yeah, I love that the rhythm like matches right up with a lot of the like line deliveries, like tiger, 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 and then like Katie did. Yeah. It's like the rhythm kind of emerges from like the words they chose, like from the language, which is cool. Which is like like the words are there, and there is like a visual information in them, but there's also like rhythmic information that like just as much kind of contributes to like the feel of the song, which is neat.
Yeah, and just like some of the other background vocals, like where there's like he goes like, I like it.
Yeah,
or just like, I like it. Like I think of like Eminem almost. Like he's like, I like it. Live, like whether they played it with two of them or all four, it's really cool.
They played it on like Feels tour a little bit, right? Like
I think Feels Strawberry Jam era, where they would just all be basically just jumping around, screaming, like not even playing any instruments really, maybe banging some stuff, but even like geologists, this always gets people revved up, and it's really it might be one of their best live songs actually.
Damn, I like that shout.
In terms of
when geologist has his mouth open or is screaming, we're going hard.
We're going hard, baby. When you got the guy who doesn't sing, who you know,
Mr. White's getting in the mix.
Yeah, Mr. White's letting go.
I'm a noisy singer singing out at dinner. Dinner's on my stranger. Is it Everybody's Morphin'? Is that what he's singing? Everybody's morphin'. Everybody's morphin'.
I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
I think that's what it says on something I found online, but who knows? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Mouth wooed her. Another word pun title that I don't think we've discussed before. Mouth water. I need mouth water. Mouth wooed her. Something there. I started playing the game, and like the game, that's Deacon, right? Sounds like.
Yeah, I started playing the game, and then I was in the game.
Is that are they talking about like the I just lost the game type thing?
I feel like he's talking about like a psychedelic trip.
Okay.
And then I was like in the game playing the game. Like, doesn't it sound like a story about just being tripping?
Like I was playing the game and then I was in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I like that way better than the I just lost the game thing. I always hated that shit. The game. Oh, if you think of it, you lose. Like, come on. Shut up.
Yeah. I love how this song starts and then like the vocals come in, kind of left and right. Dave and Noah just so good.
The vocals, the vocals definitely like lead the song in a cool way. Like there's that like rhythmless feeling, and then like the little like there's like little tambourine shake when like Dave starts singing. It's like a really quick like it's like almost like a snake's like rattle.
Real quick, right?
Yeah. It's such a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
I love the little details like that throughout this album that really just make it a fully realized thing.
Mm-hmm.
I need mouth water. I love saying that when I'm hot as frick outside, really thirsty. Sometimes you just need some mouth water, you know?
Yes, sir.
Maybe you've got cotton mouth you need a little mouth water. Good Lovin' Outside. Any idea what this song's about?
Having sex outside.
Yeah, the genius annotation online was really helpful. Quote, they're going outside to have sex, end quote.
Really? Oh, nice. Glad somebody agrees. Yeah, this song grew on me like later, these last two, but
yeah, Good Lovin' it's one of those that kind of flirts with like falling apart the whole time. Like the structure's really loose.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, I think this album is basically perfect, but if I were to swap out one, I think I might trade Good Lovin' Outside for one of the non-album cuts from this era.
Which one?
I mean, Frogs might be a little weird this close to the end of the album, but
maybe you could bump up Frogs somewhere else and like
yeah, We Tigers could be a fine penultimate track, you know.
Always You in place of like, I feel like Always You could have been like the second to last or last song on this album in place of one of these, maybe.
Yeah,
but
have you ever had sex outside?
I mean, yeah, of course. It's the only way to do it.
It's the only way I do it, man. Nice. No comment. What it I done? Wow, 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 wow.
It's a Daffy Duck song.
The Daffy Duck song that's not titled Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, some cool like rhythmic elasticity here again. Like the way it kind of like settles on that thumping beat for just like a little bit and then like gets watery and weird again.
Mm-hmm. I like the background vocals.
Me too. I think without those,
I
think those are pretty essential. Like the wah wah's cool, but I'm like,
it's kind of annoying.
Like the live version and like the Pitchfork Sung Tongs video. I'm like, yeah, this is nice. I would like to hear wah wah-less. What Did I Done? Pretty low key closer for them. Kind of ends this album. This and Mouth Wooed Her kind of end this album on a pretty chill note. Kind of like, party's over and I'm kind of falling asleep in the forests after the bacchanalia. But yeah, another nice one. I wonder What It I Done. I wonder where that title comes from. Sort of strange.
20 years out, you know, what are your thoughts about it?
Still love it. Still think it sounds incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, really unique record. It's interesting, like, I mean, all their stuff is so inspirational, but I can see how sort of the I can see how, like, the sort of bare bones, stripped down kind of fundamentals of this album would be really inspiring to other musicians.
Yeah.
I think of acts like Tune Yards and like other really sort of like percussion forward, tribal leaning music. I wonder if like I don't know, the whole conversation around like appropriation sort of kept people from exploring this avenue a little more. I mean, this album really doesn't sound like I wouldn't use that word to refer to this album, but
no, I mean,
I don't know. You start to say things like tribal, and you know, I think those questions kind of start to be asked. But
I mean, it's done I think tastefully and in an interesting way, and it's, you know, it's like all music. It's, you know, it's sharing it's like folk music, real folk music, you know, because it's drawing on indigenous sounds. It's drawing on, you know, a lot of African guitar music, and I mean, I think that's why it's beautiful. You know, it's connecting that circle.
And for all the studio, you know, quote unquote trickery, as we know from the live versions, these songs all do have a very bare bones core to them, like something that you can do with like limited instrumentation plus passion, you know, which is like that's folk music right there, you know, in a nutshell.
100%. And yeah, like how far you can take it and what you can do with just your voice and acoustic instruments and, you know, a drum. I mean, I think really like about this stuff, like it's kind of like their ability to kind of be amazed, you know, with what they're making, and their sense of discovery is it's really cool and memorable about this era. You know,
definitely
the freedom, the humor, the purity.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's an inherent like youthfulness to this music because of that, which is really cool that, you know, 15 years later, wherever it was that they did that tour, that it still was just as strong, you know, like at the time this record came out, I don't know, it might be hard to picture them doing the same stuff, like that same like Covered in Frogs video, you know, like 15 years later, but you know, they still did, and it totally held up.
Yeah. And I think you hear some of the Sung Tongs influence, like there's kind of like a second wave, I feel like a little bit like Bruiser and the Bicycle.
For sure.
Their 2019 album, which I love, is totally has Sung Tongs vibes. Superflower, that EP that I think Dave actually helped put out and he sings on, is very Sung Tongsy. Nice.
Okay. I need to find the Sung Tongs children.
Yeah, but it'd be cool if they eventually, you know, like maybe as a foursome came back to this vibe, maybe as like how would an adult approach the Sung Tongs mindset. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love another acoustic based record. I'm reminded of, there was another YouTube that was uploaded, I think somewhat recently, but it's called like Happy Singing Band 20 Years of Animal Collective's like live acoustic magic or something like that. And it's just a compilation of all the live songs like this, like from that era all the way up through like their acoustic versions of Sea of Light, but what's the title of it?
Oh yeah.
Genie's Open.
Genie's Open, yeah.
That's a really lovely listen if you're looking for more of this vibe. Also the other music set that we've mentioned before.
Definitely, we should really nice. Put that in the show notes. That's with three of them. That's with Deacon, Noah, and Dave.
Yeah. So there was I found some videos of them in Europe playing live with the three of them. No geologists.
Oh, really?
Wow. It's Dave, Deacon, and Noah, and it's touring behind Sung Tongs, but the setup is like two electric guitars, and then Noah's in the middle with the standing drums, but like no cymbals.
Wow.
And he's wearing like the crazy white wig from Oddsack. The like,
wow,
long white wig. I was going to mention the whole Edgar thing. You heard of this?
I don't know. What's that?
So somewhere in this zone of the Sung Tongs era, pre-album and post-album. I think maybe this was more post-album. This maybe was that video I was talking about, but
this is
Dave
where Noah
said, yeah. So this is on the collect animals forums. I think back in the day, Dave said Noah used to wear a panda hood on his head when we first started playing, and then just kind of started putting makeup on his face, and once wore a white wig all the time when we toured in Europe. I think that's what this video is from. I think this is the same white wig from the Oddsack, like Tantum Barb thing. And he says, quote, "That was a really weird time for Noah. He insisted on us always calling him Edgar, so we had to introduce him to all the promoters that way. I remember once he took morphine that I gave him and was all drugged up when we were out with the promoters, and it was really funny because he could barely stay awake. We were all like, oh, come on, Edgar, stick with us, keep going."
Wow.
So yeah, interesting times for
Dark
our boy
day.
Noah here.
Love that for him. I mean, I think I've got everything I
Good?
wanted to say.
Cool. Yeah, there's Prospect Hummer, but the
yeah.
companion EP. I guess, yeah, I mentioned earlier that Fortet introduced them to Vashti Bunyan, and then It's You is really, really beautiful. And then, yeah, Prospect Hummer is just a fantastic track that could have easily been on Sung Tongs.
And I remember learning how to dive.
Yep. Really
So
cool that her I think her voice on that works really, really well. It's a really pretty arrangement of that song. Yeah, and I guess it's cool. It seems like her meeting the band and her involvement with this EP sort of helped really rekindle her career.
It's awesome.
And shortly after this, she signed to Fat Cat and released an album 30 years after her last one.
Yeah, I think, what's that? Is it Diamond Days?
Another Diamond Day.
Another Diamond Day. I feel like that was a big influence on them for Sung Tongs.
Right. Yeah, I think for a lot of like alt folk acts at the time too, like Joanna Newsom and Devendra Banhart are all kind of Vashti heads. So yeah, it's cool that this led to a resurgence in her career as well.
Totes.
Might be my number 2 Animal Collective record after Merryweather.
Same. Yeah, it might be my number. It's either my 2 or 3, I'd say.
Hell yeah.
Whew.
I need some mouth water after that one. Okay, gang, that's all we've got this week. Hope you enjoyed listening along. And get in touch. We're on Instagram, Bonefish Pod. Patreon is Bonefish Pod. We will catch you next time. Peace. You don't have to go to college. That's pretty good.
Bonefish.